We're sitting down today with a couple of other YouTubers, and you may have asked yourself, is full-time travel something you could do? Is it something you want to do? So we're going to ask all your burning questions today, and the experts are going to answer it. Welcome to Retire to Roam. I'm LJ.
I'm Russell. We're retired, traveling full-time.
On a budget and loving every minute of it. Thank you all for joining us. We'll first let you all introduce yourselves, if you would, and your YouTube channels.
Yeah.
So I'm Lori. I am with Adventures with Lolly and Pops. Adventures with Lolly and Pops. And it's Greg and I, but Greg's not here today.
Okay.
And my name is Stephanie, and this is Garrett, and we are Slow Travel Chronicles on YouTube, and we also have a blog by the same name.
So I guess our first question would be the burning question: why did you all decide to do this? I mean, what is full-time travel for you all?
So I think I always wanted to travel, and I didn't have the concept of full-time travel. I knew I was going to retire and travel some, but then had the opportunity just to start researching and looking at YouTube. And I thought, this is something attainable. And so it took a few years of planning to really decide that this was going to be okay. And my plan was to really do it like you did, sell everything, full-time travel. We did end up keeping a home.
Okay.
But the more I travel, the more I want to travel. Yeah, I think that
The bugs.
the bug has bit me.
Yeah. All right, you guys.
Go ahead.
Stephanie had a midlife crisis.
That's about right.
Yeah.
End of story.
No, she just one day said, let's do something different. When can we retire? And I said, what do you want to do? She said, I want to sell the house and travel. And we had it planned out about 4 days later.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a snap decision. And it's
And
worked out great.
Yeah, and we've told our viewers or whatever we get to comment or whatever, but you've got to find that number. You want to do it, but you still got to have that number and decide if you have to sell your home or if you want to keep one like you that. And it's easier to do it when you know that number, what it takes to travel full time.
Yeah, we ended up selling. We had a large home, and we downsized. We actually went through several iterations before we landed on being semi-nomadic. We were going to do RV life. We were going to live in Spain. We were going to be full-time travelers. And then also spur of the moment, we decided to buy a condo last minute and pulled the trigger. Yeah.
So we did move from Memphis area down to the Gulf Coast, and we did downsize quite a bit. And our intention was to be full-time travelers, which we made pivots here and there. So we are, for the most part, travelers, but we do spend a few months at home.
How long do you plan on staying full-time travelers?
It makes you stop and think, okay, what happens if we're not physically able to travel anymore? And we've talked about that. And for right now, as long as we are able to get out there and go, that's our plan.
As long as I'm able to walk and pick something up. I'm having difficulty right now, but as long as my health will hold out, I plan on doing it for a while. So.
But we do have a backup plan tentatively of what happens if we're not able to do that. So
Ours, we were going to do it for 2 years. That was sort of our timeline, and then make the decision. And the more that we plan, the more that we travel, and the bug got us. Then 2 years is not enough because we've only touched the surface in 2 years. And we, so now our plans are really through 2028.
So we're planned out through May of 27 with, 700 other ideas in our head. Our goal is at minimum 10 more years. So we'll hit about when we can start drawing Social Security.
Somewhere around 65, 67, I think we'll probably reevaluate and decide. Because right now we travel probably 9 to 10 months out of the year.
Okay.
And then it'll just be a matter of, do we want to dial it back a little bit or keep going the same pace?
Yeah.
But really, 9 months out of the year, 10 months out of the year is so easy. There's it's not tiring.
No. But I should add to that probably 2 months to 3 months of every year, we are in the States traveling in the United States.
Okay.
So we try to do a mix of domestic and foreign travel. I fell in Argentina and busted my nose, and we went to an emergency room, and it was $8.50, cash only. But
oh wow,
the 6-pack of beer.
I guarantee you.
Wow.
So like my dental in Tague, Turkey, was, I think, $290.
Oh, wow.
That's less than my deductible
Oh,
here.
Right.
Yeah.
And see, so I just pay out of pocket. It's reasonable.
Yes.
I think that's one thing that people have, Americans, they think, okay, well, if I go to some foreign country and I fall and bust my nose, it's going to cost me $20,000 because that's what it would cost in America. But that's not the case. Now, I'm not advocating that I know the pricing of all medical procedures in all countries, so that don't rely on that. But we have found that things are much cheaper in other countries.
So here, your insurance company typically has you, and I hate to say it, jump through the hoops to
Yes.
get to a certain point
Well,
where,
I've been doing it
if
3
you
months.
need an MRI, you need surgery, you don't wait.
Right.
You can go and have it done
Get
and
it done.
skip
A fraction
all
of the
the
cost.
unnecessary things.
And it's quality care.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I think a lot of Americans think, oh, we have the best. We don't necessarily
Right.
No.
have the
Right.
best. And it's not like we're the only people that get cancer.
Yeah.
And we share our knowledge.
Right.
So
Right.
you get the same or better coverage in most places.
Most
Right.
every doctor that we seen while we were in Kuala Lumpur graduated from Ohio State or Florida, stuff like that. I was like,
You can find an English-speaking doctor pretty
Oh,
much
yeah.
anywhere in the world,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and the odds are they probably went to a U.S. medical school or a
Exactly.
top one in Europe.
Right, right.
And I don't know how y'all feel about it. Just in our year of travel, we feel like we're at our healthiest that we've been in a long time. And I think it has to do with the fact
A lot
that
of
we
exercise.
walk everywhere. We get out and do things instead of sitting on
quality
the couch.
of food's better too.
Oh, much better.
Yeah.
But we're not sitting on the couch watching TV and eating fast food and things like that. So we're probably at our prime.
Yeah.
And maybe
Yeah.
need less health care.
Well, I've been back in the States too
Probably.
long. I've reverted back to some of my old habits, so I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to leaving in a month.
Me too.
Get me out.
We've said this before. We've been real heavy on Sonic this summer. It's been too much
Yeah.
Sonic
It
for
was
sure.
good. It was good
good.
weather.
It was very good.
Sweet tea has been my
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah. What has surprised you the most about traveling internationally? I mean, what have you? Let's just say, what have you enjoyed most about it?
How safe it is.
Okay.
Honestly,
That's
that's
great.
probably surprised me more than anything is you don't realize how safe other countries are. I mean, you hear horror stories about certain places like, in Mexico or Colombia in years past or Venezuela now, and I would never probably go to one of those hot spots, but
Yeah.
you go to Europe or Argentina or Brazil or wherever, and it's just safe as can be.
You don't have to worry about people with guns.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
We were
And the
surprised.
transportation is so easy to get around.
Mm-hmm.
We
Those
were
two things.
surprised that what we see on TV and what we hear about other countries, well, what you're saying is,
Yeah.
we expected differently. And, we get to another country, and for example, Istanbul, that we really had hesitated, and we felt so comfortable there. It was so safe, and you could walk around at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and it was fun.
Yeah.
We found the same thing. You hear like the horror stories, and then you talk to people. They're friendly. They're thankful that you're there in their country, seeing their country, and they're proud to talk about it. And you'll ask them, say, "Well, what about so and so? We've heard this," and they'll be like, "It's over on that one little block area. Just stay clear of that block area or whatever, and you're fine."
Just like here at
Yeah.
home, you know
Yeah.
where to go.
You know where to go. I mean, I'm not advocating just blindly go walking down the street. You need to keep your head on a swivel, but it's been safe so far everywhere we've been.
You have to be conscientious of where you're at all times in your surroundings. There's pickpocketers. There are people looking to prey on you just like they are here in America. And you have to be smart about your travels. You just can't, throw your money in your back pocket and let it hang halfway out and expect someone not to take it. But it's not, you have to walk around in fear all the time either, I think. So,
I think one of the things, I was talking to a relative and I said, people are the same when you're out of the country. You see a mom taking her kid to school. You see a mom and a family in a grocery store doing all of the same things we do. So we're not all that different from one another.
Right.
All
We-
just trying to
our houses might look different and we may speak a different language,
We're
but
still trying to live.
just trying to live life and be happy.
I really went in this like, oh no, what's going to happen? I'm not going to know the language. I'm not going to know how to get around in another country. And that's for the first week maybe or so. But then you just pick it up, and it seems like the more you travel, the more comfortable you are. At first nobody spoke English, and Greg would always say, "You're the only person I'm going to talk to." Well, they still don't speak any more English than they used to. It's just that
Google Translate's
you just,
a great
you just
thing.
hear it now and you don't think so much about it. And there is Google Translate. We use Google Translate quite a bit.
Yeah.
So I think it's just maybe the fear of the unknown at first,
Mhm.
and then as the more you travel, it's just like, okay, let's hop on a plane and go.
Yeah. Navigating travel can be frustrating at times. You miss a connection flight, or, you get to a apartment that you're staying at for 3 weeks and it's not,
What it was
they never
pictured.
look as good
They
in
never
person
do.
as they did in those photos, because the
Yeah.
photos might be 6 or 7 years old. So,
What your idea of a pillow is compared to what their idea of a pillow
Yeah.
is way off.
yeah.
Or life.
That's been difficult because we get in our comfort zone of our bed, my favorite pillow, this kind of thing. So that has taken some adjustment, and it's okay. I mean, that's fine. There have been places we say, we're never coming back here. We didn't enjoy this. And there are other places that we're like, oh, we could come back here and stay full time.
And the certain time of year, because there's a whole lot of places in Europe don't have air conditioning, and right now they're going through a heat wave. And
I make that a priority on my
Yeah.
filters. It has to have air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we go through the pictures of the listing.
Zoom in on
Zoom
them.
in, and the couch has to have arms.
Yeah.
It has to have
Not a
arms.
futon.
No
It needs to
futon.
have a washer.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
We
not
do
a deal
filter
breaker,
that.
but it really needs a washer.
Yeah, we
I
filter
think overall you have to be adaptable. If you're adaptable and be like, you know what, I'm here, this is cool, I'll deal with it, you'll be fine. If you're so particular that you blow a gasket because something's not perfect, you may have some issues
Yeah.
along the way.
I want those places where I can get out and walk around and see and not feel like I need to go to all the Paris and London and I want something where I can truly, we say that we want to live in an area and we want to see how people live. Well, then that's what I want. I want to find that place where I feel comfortable and, there's people that we can talk to and see, and, whether there's expats or people that we meet, and, the town's walkable, there's things to see, there's things to do, but also to live your life in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really the key thing is we are living our lives. We are not on vacation.
Yeah, it's not a
And I
vacation.
think people confuse vacation pricing with slow travel,
Slow travel.
or even faster travel. Because we don't spend near what we would spend if we were on vacation.
Yeah. Speaking of spending, are you all on a budget? How do you manage your travels? Are you just unlimited spend freely, or what?
Yeah.
We let them answer that.
Love to be spend freely. We're still, again, we're in our first year, so we're still adjusting and figuring out where is that spot. So, I watched videos and things, and I was going to be $2,800 a month was going to be my budget, and that quickly went to $3,500 a month, and that was where I was going to be comfortable, and that's where we started was $3,500, and then we just realized that that's really a little on the low side. So we have now set our budget between $4,000 and $4,500.
Okay.
And that's where we are most comfortable.
You can stay at several places for that.
And we can cover that with, we're a little bit older, so we have Social Security, but we can cover it with that.
Yeah.
And
Good.
so right now that's where we're comfortable.
Okay.
And we have found that there were countries that we did not stay within budget.
Yeah,
We found that
it's
it's easy. And
That's the great thing about Southeast
Italy.
Asia.
You
You can make up for it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what we did find was, which I worried a little bit about, was Greece and Turkey. We came in under budget.
Yeah. Yeah. Surprisingly.
And loved it.
And you all?
We do our budget differently. We have a budget, but it's kind of a mismatch between the United States and traveling.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to break it out. I would say on average, probably for a 3-month trip, we probably spend around $4,000 a month.
Okay.
That's everything from Airbnbs, food, entertainment, plane tickets, train tickets, Uber,
Everything.
the whole 9 yards.
Okay. So it sounds like we're all three groups here are very similar. Our budget's $4,000 a month, and like you said, some months are more, some months are less, and our goal is $48,000 a year. That is our goal, and we were under that last year. We spent $36,000 last year,
Nice.
but we spent quite a bit of time with our son and
Yeah.
daughter-in-law in Guam. So we weren't paying for accommodations.
Right.
Probably about 4 months out of that, we were in Guam. But we also do not include the cost of our insurance in that. We just started from the beginning not doing that because it comes out of my husband's pension before we get paid. So we
And
don't
that's how it
include
would
that.
go.
Okay, okay. So you can definitely do it. I don't know about you all. We just had a video out where we met with our financial planner. We were not wealthy at all when we did this, and I think that's a big misconception that you got to be a millionaire to do something like this, or $2 million, $3 million. Well, yeah, if you want to go and rent a luxury yacht
Yeah,
on the
the Waldorf
French Riviera, then you're probably going to have to get some money.
It's
But
less expensive than the U.S.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I've
So-
told people we've done for years, we would go on the Gulf Coast and stay in a condo in Panama City for a
3,000
week.
a week.
And it was $2,500 to $3,000, and we're staying in countries for a month at a time and not even spending close to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there again, like you
Right.
said earlier, it's not a vacation; it's a way of life. It's how we live now. So,
We've met hundreds of travelers, and I would say, as far as the bell curve of who spends what amount of money, we're probably pretty close to the middle.
yeah,
Yes.
I know a lot of people that spend a lot more, but I know a lot of people that spend a
Spend a
whole
lot.
lot less.
Less. Yes.
exactly.
You know, if you're willing to house sit,
Oh,
pet
yeah.
sit,
Yeah,
stay in Southeast Asia for 6 months at a time,
Yeah.
or Central America for 6 months at a time, you can go really cheap.
Yeah.
And the level of your accommodation can make a difference.
Yeah.
Yes.
A
Yeah.
lot.
Absolutely.
And, you know, if you stay if people don't know, if you stay at an Airbnb, typically for 30 days or more, you get a significant discount.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
are big Airbnb people, and I know there are people that aren't Airbnb people, but it has worked well for us.
Because my kids will ask, you know, how can you do this? How can you afford this? Well, it is cheaper for me to travel internationally. But one thing that I tell them, and this is advice I give to, this is my financial advice, is from the day you start working, start putting money aside. And with every paycheck, put something aside. And there were weeks that it literally was 25 cents. And that was all I could do. But I started that 40 years ago. And that does allow me a little bit more freedom
Right.
to do the things. And so, you know, I really do encourage people, if you think, even if you don't know what you're going to do in retirement,
yourself first.
just put something aside. Everybody can
Yeah.
put the cost of a cup of coffee or, you know, a Coke or something aside every week.
We're big advocates on.
maxing out your match on your
yeah.
401k.
I always tell people save as much as you can, and then let it hurt a little bit more, and save even a little more. Because you're never going to get. I've never met anyone in retirement that has said, "Gosh, I saved too much money. I regret that." I haven't met that person. Not saying they're not out there, but I haven't met them
It's
yet.
not me.
Yeah, and you know, one thing about we talk a lot about retirement, but we've met a lot of young people that are out there traveling, nomads that, especially in Southeast Asia, Vietnam, Malaysia, that are in their 20s and they're working jobs remotely and living in these countries on a fourth or less than what it would cost them to live
Yeah.
Because
in
they can't
America or
afford
Canada.
to rent something here.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not just America, folks. There's people from Canada, Australia, lots of Australians that have moved to Vietnam, especially Da Nang area. So, yeah, it's not just for us retirees. It's something for young people as well. Do you all have a top thing you have to gadget, or other than the spatula?
I take taco seasoning.
Oh, do
I
you?
take
Okay.
1 pack for every week that we will be gone.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
We don't have tacos every week necessarily, but just in case.
In case
we
you
have
know
the
you got the taco
capability.
season.
Brown gravy mix and
I
bouillon.
we'll buy that, but we get the bouillon cubes,
Okay.
and I take
Cavender's.
Cavender seasoning.
Yeah.
It's a good all-purpose
Yeah.
seasoning that you can
Okay.
do on veggies or meats, and so
Okay.
we take that.
It's one of those things like after you've been traveling for like, I don't know, 6, 9 months, a year at most, you realize you're not using 50% of the stuff you pack anyway, so you might as well leave it at home or get rid of it. You put in stuff you will use, which for her is spices.
Spices.
And I'd take Tupperware and like
Yeah.
those little bar hotel soaps.
Yes.
So
Oh,
if
yeah.
you're staying somewhere for like a week or whatever, you don't have to buy
Yeah.
soap.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Exactly.
little things like medicine. We'll take a lot of NyQuil
Yeah.
capsules with us, like the
Yeah.
daytime, the nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just because I don't want to be running around, and we have before, at 8 o'clock at night trying to
Trying
find
to
a pharmacy that's open and sells the stuff, and
Exactly.
they sell it under a different name, and you're using Google Translate trying to find a picture of
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Ugh.
yeah, exactly.
So one thing we found that we're not going to take with us is our GoPro. We thought we would
Yep.
have the GoPro and we would film everything with it and use it, and we just don't.
Yeah.
And so it's like, why take up the space to
Yeah.
carry it? I don't think we've used it at all. We have our iPhones, that fantastic camera on them.
Yeah.
We both have a laptop. I video most of the time now on my cell phone just because it's easy. I don't like to carry things. And so I literally give him my ID and I carry my phone, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't use a selfie stick, although I own it, but I don't use that. And then he hauls a lot of camera gear because he does lots of pictures.
See, I
Okay.
don't do video, but I'll take
Okay.
2 or 3 cameras and 2 or 3 lenses
Wow.
every trip.
Do you
Yeah.
sell your photos, or you just
He
do it for
shouldn't. He
personal?
shouldn't.
Just personal.
Just my hobby.
Okay, that's good.
So he takes really good photos, and I said earlier we have a blog, Slow Travel Chronicles, and you can see his pictures there.
Okay. So his is photography. Do you have a hobby on the road that you do, or?
Well, YouTube is kind of the biggest hobby that I have.
Okay.
And then I try to do meetups with people through several of the Facebook groups, Go With Less, Eat,
Yeah.
Walk, Learn. So I like to meet people, and then I think that's about it.
And do you have hobbies, or?
Well, when I was home all the time, baking and cooking was my
Yeah.
hobby. So that doesn't happen when we're traveling.
Right.
Right now, I think I enjoy the research and the travel planning and learning about places. So by the time I get somewhere, feet on the ground, I know the
Yeah.
history of
Kind of what
places.
you want to do. I'm the same way.
So I really do like that. When we're going on a repositioning cruise, and I'll have like 9 days at sea. I'm like, well, what do I want to do? I read books,
Yeah.
and I'm still old school, so I have to read the paper book. I can't read on the Kindle.
Yeah, I try wherever we're going, try to see whatever the historical facts are about it, and a lot of military stuff is what I like.
Yeah.
We watch a lot of YouTube to find the things that we want to do. Like one thing, we had just watched your Athens YouTube on the changing of the guard,
Yeah.
and it just happened to be our first day there was the Sunday that
Was
they
it
were
Sunday?
doing it.
Yeah.
And we get up there and Rick's like, you have to go stand on the left side where she
Yeah.
said to stand. and it was just perfect.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Because we had started in the very middle, and we was like right at front, and then they kept us, and then finally just
Yeah.
they pushed us all the way over to the left side.
Yeah.
so.
Sometimes it's hard to give an answer of one place, but if you've got a favorite place.
I could give you 8 different answers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Each place has something special about it.
Yeah.
I would say our favorite though is probably Prague.
Okay.
We like that Prague a lot.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
On this last trip, we really enjoyed Greece.
Okay.
We really enjoyed Turkey too, so it was a toss-up. But one thing that we both say is that we loved Greece, and we would definitely go back there.
Yeah. So you all said earlier that you've planned through 2028, and you've got some through 2027. We've got the next 11 days planned, I think. So
Yeah.
that's okay too.
Which means you're more flexible.
You were a little flexible. It's a little scary, but again, that goes back to whatever works for you. Usually we're not that fly by the seat of our pants, but again, because of him just having surgery, we didn't want to commit to a lot in case we usually do non-refundable to save on money. So we didn't want to commit to a lot of things and then wind up losing that deposit or that money on whatever we did. So we booked the next 11 days. So unless we do something
I
different
haven't
between
gotten
now
great
and then.
enough to do non-refundable yet.
Yeah, we do it. We feel like it's,
No, I paid the extra and do it. but,
Yeah.
At this
Yeah.
point.
We always do non-refundable.
Yeah.
So one thing I did this trip that I'm planning now to Eastern Europe is the first time I've done Airbnb where you don't have to pay anything up front. You pay it,
Yeah, because used to Airbnb wanted everything.
Well, now
up
they let
front.
you pay as it gets closer, usually within a few weeks of your trip
Okay.
at the cancellation date.
Okay.
So I'm trying that,
Yeah.
which gives me a little bit more flexibility if I do want to change my mind
Yeah.
on that.
One thing that's kind of hard to keep up with is, especially if you're going to a lot of different places in a shorter period of time, you're not staying 3 weeks or a month there. We get sometimes confused. Have we paid for this place yet? Have we not? And when we get there, it got us twice this year that we got there and they were taking cash only. And this was places we were staying a month at. So it wasn't like we just had $900 cash in our pocket. So luckily both places had an ATM nearby that the person walked us to. But that is something to think about. Some places, when you're making reservations, you pay up front, which we prefer usually. But some places want you to pay when you get on site. So that's something you have to kind of keep up with, because the first place we were like, oh, wait, we think we already paid you. And they're like, no, you didn't. And we looked it up and we hadn't paid them. They were legit about it. So that's something to keep in mind as well.
So far, I've only booked through platforms, through either Booking.com or Airbnb or Agoda. And I know that people book through, Facebook or word of mouth. And I haven't gotten that brave to do that. I don't know.
No.
Some people will show up and stay 3 days at a hotel, and then they'll get out and beat the pavement trying to find something locally with a local realtor. I ain't brave enough to do that yet.
Yeah.
We know people that do that, and I just don't want to spend several days looking for a place. If I was going to be there for several months, I probably would do that. But for a month, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. I mean, do you all use any kind of AI tools in your travels?
I just started because I was really resistant to using it for a long time. But I do use it now, and I use it pretty much every day.
Okay.
I have very sporadically, and I don't think we've ever actually done anything that I found on there because he already knows everything. He's done all the research.
Okay.
Really, all I do is show up and find Airbnbs.
Okay. We're obviously not pulling out a map. Well, maybe you are. I don't know. What do you all do? What do you just YouTube, Google? How do you do your research to pick places?
Yeah. Do you say
Places
this
to
is the
go?
area I want to go, and this is where we're going to nail it down to?
Yeah,
or-
usually we'll pick a country and say, okay, we're going to go to Europe next year. Where haven't we been that we want to go? And we'll pick a country, and then it's just not. I mean, there's no real rhyme or reason. We just pick a couple of cities.
Yeah.
And usually, like if we're going to, I think our first trip is a good example. We went to Spain. I can't tell you how many people I told we're going to Spain. They said, "Oh, you're gonna love Barcelona."
Yeah.
We're not going to Barcelona. Oh,
Yeah.
Madrid's good too. We're not going to Madrid either.
Yeah.
We went to Sevilla and Valencia, each for a month, and in between we went to Cordoba and Granada for a week apiece. So we typically will do that if we'll pick a country and we'll say, okay, we're going to go these two major cities for a month each, and then we'll pick some cities in the middle, and it's just really based on what we just feel like doing the time we book it.
Yeah.
Or we can get cheap plane tickets.
Yeah, so we're leaving for Madrid in about a month, and our original plan was Croatia, but I found really cheap tickets to Madrid, and Madrid was on our list.
Yeah.
And so we said, okay, we're going to Madrid.
We had Croatia entirely planned.
Yeah.
And then she found these plane tickets. Okay, we're not going to Croatia.
And that's the great thing about this slow travel. You find the deal, and then you kind of dictate, let that kind of dictate.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll get to Croatia, but right now the deal's right here.
Yeah.
And we're also learning, and we've gotten a lot better at it, how to use trains to get around.
Yes.
So we took one trip, we went to Krakow and Prague and Karlovy Vary, and, it was perfect. So sometimes we'll look at trying to match up cities we want to go to, even if we're not in the same country.
Yeah.
We did the same thing in Southeast Asia. We just kind of bounced around.
We had one trip. We had a month that we didn't know where we want to go. We knew we were headed to Mexico. So I thought, where can we go that's not the touristy Cancun, things like that. And we literally took a map, closed our eyes, and went and just pointed.
Okay.
Like, okay, we're going to do this. We've never heard of this place. Went to Chilean. Never heard of it. And we absolutely loved it. And there was a huge expat community, especially from Canada. And so we had to, Greg became the corner.
You want to pick some place where there are tourists, and you pick a place with a huge expat.
But it was like people that
I think
lived.
somebody was looking through
It was people that lived there, though. It wasn't like your cruise ships coming in and things like that. It was people that lived there, and they were involved in the community. So it was like every day we would have to go, no, we're going to do this one and not this one because there was so much, and they just really embraced us. But there was nothing there that if we had been really searching for, what to do, because there wasn't great beaches. There was beaches, but there, nothing that you would really know. And, and it ended up being just the most fantastic time.
Good.
So I think sometimes just to go somewhere you've rarely heard of.
So I have a couple of hacks that I can share because I like to earn a mile or a point any way I can. You can do Delta/Airbnb when you book your Airbnbs, and for every $1 that you spend on Airbnb, you get a Delta mile.
Oh.
So you log into Airbnb, pick what you want, then just Google Delta Airbnb, and it will take you from Delta into Airbnb, and then go to your wish list and book. And so I've earned quite a few Delta points that way. And then another thing that you can do with American Airlines as well as Hilton, you can register your credit cards to Hilton Dining or American Airlines Dining, and every time you use your card at participating restaurants, you get a mile or a point, which those aren't huge, but like I said, I try to get as many as I can.
Is that in addition to your credit card points? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we've switched. I used to be diehard Hilton because I traveled with work. Hilton, I was.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And
Sorry.
now we switched to Hyatt because their points per night are cheap. I just stayed a night in Buckhead in Atlanta for 6,000 points for one night.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so that would be another hack.
Yeah. I guess it's not a hack, but maybe a piece of advice is for years we did not own a credit card until we started traveling. We hadn't had a credit card in 20 years. We just had a debit card. And even our financial advisor said, you guys have got to get a credit card in case your debit card gets cut off in wherever, Turkey or wherever. So we did do that.
And I would just throw in, it's the standard safety thing. Don't get a credit card unless you can pay it off every month.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Another thing that a lot of travelers carry, I don't know if y'all do, is a Charles Schwab debit card.
Yes.
Because you get those ATM fees refunded. We
Yes.
didn't have one for years, but then we went to Argentina last year, and their banks charge outrageous ATM fees. So that was the first thing we did.
I
We booked our
heard that
plane
too.
Yeah.
to Argentina. We got
We
it.
only use that one if
Okay.
we or if we're taking cash out of an ATM.
Yeah.
Is all that we've used it for. But
That's all
every
it's
time they
for.
reimbursed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
American Express does that as well. We'll just, I guess, wrap up our side here and just say, if you've not followed these guys' channel, be sure and do that. We'll leave it down in the description for you all to find them. And be sure and give them a like and a thumbs up as well.
Subscribe.
And hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate you all watching and
it really
joining
does
us.
help.
It does help. It does help. I said we might earn enough one day to buy each other a coffee or something. We're not Mr. Beast or anything for sure.
I think sometimes people think you're going to make just millions off this, and you're
I know.
not. But where it comes in is that it gets your videos seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
of course, the more you're seen, the more views that you get, and
Yeah.
maybe someday we can get a cup of coffee.
Yeah, absolutely. So anything
Yeah,
else?
just do a favor. Like I said, the link will be in the description on both of these channels, and do them a favor. Go over and watch a couple of videos. Hey, just binge watch them or whatever, and give them a thumbs up and a subscribe. They'd appreciate it. I know we will too if you'll subscribe to our channel.
Thank you.
And, as always, thank you all for watching. Have a blessed day and safe
Safe
travels.